One of the things that has attracted me to working out, especially with weights and specifically strength training, is that it's a very, very slow game. It's a very, endurance minded type of race. Nothing happens overnight. And one of the most beautiful things about it is that very lesson translates really well to life. If you want to, go to university and study something and become a professional in some sort of field, that also doesn't happen overnight. It takes 3-4 years, sometimes even longer, depending on what you desire. And you can practice those very same thoughts, those very same goals and methods. And I say methods precisely because all success comes with the same ingredients. Sure, if you want to be a mathematician, your reps and sets are not with plates and barbells, but with specific topics in mathematics. And you have to spend X amount of days, weeks to perfect a certain idea, to understand a certain formula, and to practice that formula through many different sets and reps, right? But that same discipline, that same determination, that same hard work is required, whether you're sweating it on the barbell or you're getting a headache from thinking about the problems on a piece of paper. It's all the same stuff, and it all translates. I really, really believe that. When hardship hits you in life, you can draw upon the lessons from the gym. When you're up to set 4 or set 5 in 5 sets of 5, and you're like, I don't even know which freaking set it is, where it's a 3 or 4 or 5, but I'm knackered and I've got another set and another rep or whatever it might be. And you have to gut it out, right? Because no one's going to be able to sleep knowing that you left a couple of reps in the tank that you couldn't get, and that you could have gotten it if you just dug a little bit deeper. So these lessons you can draw when you hit hardship in life. The hardship under the barbell when you're stuck halfway through a set, or hardship in life when a girlfriend leaves you, or when there's something unexpected happening to your life. I firmly believe that you can practice some of these coping mechanisms, in the gym. It's a very lonely experience, at least for me it is. Your problems are unique to you. Sure, you can get ideas and help from other places, but you can't really buy a solution off the shelf. You have to work it out. That pain that you have in your knee, in your hip, in your elbow, you got to work that out for yourself. You can get ideas, but you have to put that on trial and give it a few days, weeks, maybe even months of effort before you potentially give yourself a chance to resolve that pain. And that slow, enduring method is so beneficial. I think when you're a youngster, you want everything right now. There's no way you're going to wait another day. A day seems so long. And when somebody says, I remember hearing this as well myself, give it 10 years. Dude, give what 10 years, man? I've lived 16 years. You're asking me to live this thing for another 10? Dude, I don't even know what 10 looks like. And so understanding that everything that's really magical and beneficial and successful takes time. Quality takes time to build, to perfect. And the Bible teaches that in a weird way. The Bible doesn't talk, but it makes you feel it and makes you understand that there's no rushing this. I remember a time where I thought I could just do singles and continue to improve my singles. Get stronger and stronger and stronger. But I've proven that is not the way. There is no cheat code to this thing. You have to do the work. You have to do your sets and reps, and you have to sweat, and you have to work hard. And this is something that I've really come to understand with these sets of 30 and these sets of 20 on the bench press and 30 on squats. It's freaking hard work, man. I'm working harder now than I ever have. Doing a single or a 95, that is not hard work. That is not hard work. That is not long enough discomfort for it to be hard work. Hard work is when you're in it for a set of 30, when you're huffing and puffing way after the set, where the discomfort lasts 5-10 minutes after the set and you're still uncomfortable. That is discomfort. And when you walk up to the barbell to commence that set, you know full well that you're going to be uncomfortable for the next 10 minutes, long after you've re-racked the bar. So that hardship, that barbell teaches you a lot. Obviously, you can use the barbell and you can mess around and not really draw anything. And as soon as you hit the first plateau, you quit. And I've seen a lot of people quit. A lot of people quit. Some people used to watch my channel many years ago, and they've since quit. And sometimes, I get a message from them, and they're like, "Ivan, it's so cool to see you still going. I've since given up, but it's cool to see you going." And that's a very common thing that I've heard over the years. And people quit for all sorts of reasons. I mean, this stuff is not easy. It is not easy, to work all bloody year to put 5 kilos on the squat. That is not something that is cool for a lot of people. Like, screw that, I'll do something else. And then when that something else also, progress to let's say, intermediate level and things get really hard and you can't progress any further, the chances are they'll quit that as well. And there's many reasons for it. Some people get injured, some people find other interests, and this is all well and fine, but you just need to understand that this process is repeatable across many things. Yeah, sure, I'm practicing the barbell here, trying to learn how to squat, but the mental side of learning a craft, the mental side of it is the same regardless of the craft we choose. It's going to be hard to learn how to freaking paint like, I don't know, Picasso. I don't even know what I'm saying now. Whatever. That doesn't take one bloody year. That takes 30, 40, 50 years. And when you see somebody that's been in the game for whichever one you're talking about, you see a doctor that's been in the game for 50 years, there's a certain aura around them, there's a certain weight of their words because they've done everything, man. When you see somebody that's been squatting for 30 years, it's just a different feeling, man. It's a different weight of words when somebody speaks that they've dedicated a lifetime to. And whether you become a world record holder or not, you can still put 30 years into something and you still have value to your words. Not all of us are going to have superior genetics where we're going to be able to perform at the height of the highest peaks. But that doesn't mean we can't be in the game and understand the game, right? And that's kind of what I love. I love this. I'll continue to do this. I might not be the greatest, but I'll full well know through experience and through learning through my years of doing this, I'll learn a lot about it, and I'll always have a place in discussions, 20, 30 years from now because I've done it, and I think that's a really, really cool thing. Appreciate you guys like always, and I'll catch you like always next time. Appreciate you. Peace out.